Hello everybody. Welcome to your weekly messages for April, is it the 13th to the 19th? I think that's where we're at. We'll stick to that, otherwise I'll change it in the title, but otherwise, hello and welcome. This is good for all signs. If you want to know which decks I'm using, check out all of the list in the description box. If you want to work with me one-on-one, if you're needing some support, if you're needing some healing, if you want to do some energetic work or take a class with me, check out the description box. All right, so I have quite a few Oracle decks on the table. I don't know, I was just feeling Oracle-y this week. So we're just going to start with some of those. First thing, I affirm that all life is sacred. I think this in large part has to do with the process that you're going through right now, whatever that may be. It's meaningful. Like all of the skills that you're developing, perhaps the healing that you're doing, or the things that you're confronting, they have significance and they have value. So I just want to remind you of that. The card wants to remind you of that. And it's all a sacred part of the process. And just, to get really woo-woo, this is the illusion. What we're in right now, this, the material, the 3D, this is the illusion. And so if you can kind of remind yourself of that, it can ease up some of that anxiety, no matter what you're experiencing environmentally, no matter how challenging, no matter how painful, no matter how whatever, this is the illusion. Like this is just a pit stop. Let's see what else is coming up for everybody. Cultivate stillness. Important time to meditate. You guys, I know. I'm sure you're sick of me saying that, but it really will give you a fresh perspective. If you feel like you are running low on inspiration, low on hope, low on energy, low on whatever, go into that stillness. Meditation or something else that is just allowing you to free up some of that mental energy, and that's going to be a game changer this week. And then we have the Affirmators. This is the at work deck. So let's see what you need to know from this deck. Collaboration. I knew a card like this was going to come up. I take pride in my role as a good collaborator and look for opportunities to help support my colleagues' ideas rather than dismiss them outright. I fill my meetings with yeses and ands, and I celebrate the constructive power they have over buts or ors. Unless I work for a company that makes cigarettes or boats, in which case buts and ors would be, oh, never mind. So the collaboration piece, I think this has more to do with communication than anything else. That's what this is highlighting here, at least when I'm reading it. So even if you're like not working right now, don't worry about that. This is highlighting the communication around people that you're in close proximity to. So this can apply to family, it can apply to friends, it can apply to followers online, it can apply to whomever. Just remind yourself of the necessity of communication and how you are communicating with others. Okay, let's pull another card. This is from the, this is a manifestation deck, in case you're wondering. So, wanting more for others puts me into an energy of abundance. Yes, so when you want more for others, it's the energy of there's so much more than enough that exists on earth. There's like sharing energy, even though I personally have a really hard time sharing. I don't like sharing unless it's my choice. And so this is just like wanting good things for others, wanting other people to succeed, wanting other people to make money, wanting other people to have breakthroughs. It's highlighting that level of success for others is not taking anything away from you, because the reality is that it's not, right? Like someone else doing well does not mean that you don't get to have any goodness in your life. That's not how it works. So this is about the collective energy of wanting everyone to be doing their absolute best and doing well. And then, what else do we have going on this week? 9 of Wands. So whatever it is that you're creating, building, making happen, even if there's an obstacle or two that show up for you, it's all temporary. You know, this isn't, like I mentioned in the beginning, this isn't the last stop. This isn't, you know, the end all be all. And so for you, just reminding yourself that it's okay if there are challenges. It's okay if there are obstacles. You know, we're going to evolve regardless of the things that we have sitting in front of us, and use that to your advantage. Because it's like obstacles, they're all things that you can take care of. And then we have the 7 of Chalices, a lot of options. So I think there's a lot of different places to put your energy, which for some of you might be really confusing or frustrating or both. But again, the stillness is where you're going to access more answers over time, even if you don't have clarity about all of this week. Because that's the other thing. I'm getting that there's some shifting happening. Maybe there's a lot of things to consider this week, and so that could be changing things up for you. King of Pentacles, mastering the material. That's like the really, a really core part of the King of Pentacles energy. That's what he knows how to do best. And so you're probably learning a lot about stability, learning a lot about the material, or how, you know, much of an illusion it is in many ways. You know what this is looking like? Building with restrictions and limitations. Building regardless, doing things regardless. Now, some of you, this is going to look different for everybody. Some of you are maybe taking a lot of downtime. Maybe you're recharging your battery, and that's been the main focus, but that's still a part of building, right? You need a full tank in order to build. So whatever the circumstances may be, you're building regardless. And then let's see what's moving out this week. 5 of Wands, so conflicted energy, conflicted feelings, uncertainty, all of that is kind of making its way out. There's not going to be absolute concrete certainty this week from what I can tell because of the 7 of Chalices, but the uncertainty is coming from, well, what's next? What do I do now? Where do I put my energy in this next position? It's like there's still problem solving that is happening. It's just transforming, because this is kind of grouchy energy, the 5 of Wands kind of has, and the 9 of Wands is more ambitious, like, ooh, let's do this, let's make this happen. So you're building in more of an empowered space this week, more intentionally. And then we also have the World. So things are really getting wrapped up. Like there's a big cycle that's being concluded. There's big transition in all of this. Let me pull one more from this deck. The Empress. So don't miss out on self-care. You still want to be engaging in this. You still want to be filling your tank, taking good care of yourself. All of that stuff really, really, really matters. So use it. The growth this week is going to come from your intentional approach to whatever you're doing. Self-care, filling your tank, the intentional nature of that matters. The same thing goes for if you are building something in the material. Maybe you're working on projects, or maybe you're focusing on art, maybe you're focusing on sharpening a skill, you know, whatever the case may be, your intention is going to be where the growth comes from. Because if you're just going unconscious and you're not being intentional about anything at all, that's where things start to go south. That's where energy gets squandered. So it doesn't, you can intentionally decide, you know what, I'm going to take this like a vacation, or I'm going to relax into whatever I'm dealing with right now, or I'm going to, go all out and give it a whole bunch of energy. There are no wrong answers, but your intention and clarity is what matters the most. So that is the main message that comes through, is like, don't bully yourself into like trying to do more than feels good to you. Don't try to force yourself to do things that really aren't in alignment with you, but you feel like you should. Be careful with those shoulds and focus more on intention. Okay, let's do a 3-card pick. Pick a card, any card, whatever feels best for you. Card number 1. 10 of Pentacles. Foundation, stability, legacy. What have you been building for a long time? What have you been working towards? It seems like the big vision, the big goal is where you want to focus your next steps, or aligning your decisions. Like, what is going to carry you towards that goal, beyond the practical, but really look at the energetics of it as well. Like, if you have big dreams and stuff, then you probably need a full tank, which is why you need to pay attention to this Empress card as well. You know, you need to cultivate stillness in order to get to that next level, and you want to marry that with aligned action. But again, it's the alignment piece is what's going to make the big dream a reality. And so I would say pay attention to that, and also like maybe you're more secure than you might realize, or that you might be believing right now. So work on the back end of belief. Card number 2, we have the Daughter of Swords. This is about new ideas, pursuing things in a different way. So there's innovation that's happening for you. I'm getting that the old way of doing things is really stale, and so you're sharpening things up, you're mixing things around, you are changing how you're approaching it. This is helping you level up. If you picked this card, it's like you doing things in a new way is leveling you up. And then card number 3, we have Strength, personal power. You can do it. This is a big boost of yes, you can. So carry that with you. I'm getting that I want to keep the reading on this card minimal, just because it's like a yes, keep going, keep working through it. So long as you're not gripping tightly to someone else's free will, you're going to be fine. If you're just focusing on you are empowered enough to grab hold of the right next step, that's what matters most. All right, everybody, that is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. And thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, all the things. If you want to work with me, check out the description box, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.